I'll tell you, you have to start with the NBA and in our backyard, the Philadelphia 76ers, because I thought last night, even from an odds standpoint going into the season, I thought Embiid was a live, good, solid play for NBA MVP. And we saw last night, 50-plus point explosion, and they covered the number, by the way, 12.5, they win by 13. 50-plus point explosion, and all of a sudden he jumps 40-1, 12-1, 7-1. In a matter of 26 minutes, 12-1, 7-1. And the Sixers get the win. Okay, fine. Everyone's happy. Nice effort. Monster performance. Wonderful job, right? There you have it. Then you get all these new rumors and, tweets and, this is what's going on with the Philadelphia 76ers and what's going to go on with Ben Simmons and Daryl Morey. And at this point, you've got, and Daryl Morey spoke. He spoke in Philadelphia radio. I'll see if I can grab some sound. But just to kind of put it in context for you, every day it's a saga of if, when, how will, why won't they, when will they trade Ben Simmons. And it's getting to this point now where they are flat out wasting Joel Embiid's prime. There's no other. You can't defend what's going on right now. You can go back and forth with me all you want on Twitter, all you want on Facebook. It's not going to bother me one bit because I know in this argument I am correct. I am right. You have another report out there that the Golden State Warriors were looking to pull the trigger on a blockbuster deal. A blockbuster deal for Ben Simmons. You're talking a couple players, some young players, future first-round picks. No good. No good. Now you want to package Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons. Still not enough. So you've got a GM right now in Daryl Morey, and this is where it's at. He and you guys crush me, and I'm standing by this. He is becoming public enemy number one in Philadelphia. He is willing to set the franchise back 10 years, and you're going to piss off an entire fan base. Why? Because you have a list of players that you need. You have to have. Come on, man. Enough. There's a report they offered to Golden State. Couple all-stars, couple young stars, 2 future first-round picks, and this guy still balked. What are you doing? So the Warriors would get Simmons, Harris, Drummond, and the Sixers would get Green, Wiggins, Poole, and 2 future first-round picks. You trust this guy? You want this guy to be the decision-maker here? And I got hammered for saying this. This guy is delusional. He needs to go to church, pray, get saved, cleanse your soul, take a shower 3 times over, wash away whatever it is, the demons that have corrupted you, and figure it out. Figure it out. What do you want? You want the 92 Bulls? You want the 93 Bulls? You want Jordan in his prime, Pippen in his prime? Hell, I'll give you Wilt the Stilt. Is that enough? This guy, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And why are you doing this? You have lost your mind. Absolutely lost your mind. This is not even up for debate. Not even up to debate. If you're a Sixers fan, you have to be insulted. You have to be ticked off. You have to be aggravated. And you've got, what you have now is a good old-fashioned standoff. Everybody loves a standoff. Who doesn't love a standoff? Everybody loves a standoff. You got 2 gunslingers there waiting to see who's going to flinch. Who's going to reach for the pistol first? Who's it going to be? Who's going to decide, you know what? I'm controlling my fate. And it typically, you know what happens in these standoffs? Nobody wins. Nobody wins. Because you have two stubborn parties. Two stubborn parties. And on the other side of town, near the tumbleweed, is poor Joel Embiid, whose prime is being wasted. You've got February 10th, which we are about a month plus away. Get a deal done and move on. That's it. So you're either going to trade. Yeah, I get it. You want to trade Simmons and you want to get value in return. Okay, fine. I need a top 25 player. Who's to say you do? Why are we so adamant with this? Why? Why do you have to be so narrow-minded? Why can't you budge? I'm not even a Sixers fan. I don't even have a dog in a fight, and this annoys the hell out of me. Because a franchise is trying to stay patient with a situation as they try to move forward with a deadline right around the corner. Why? Because you have a player that is not meant to play in Philadelphia. Why? Because you have a player that has thin skin. You have a player that's been coddled his entire life. Doesn't want to put the work in. So you're going to sit there and tell me you need to get 26 players back for that type of player? No, absolutely not. It's like you're sitting there. You are sitting there, and you are not budging. This is to paraphrase what he said earlier today. Quote, I think action comes from dialogue, and that meaning was really about getting the dialogue to a better place. That's continued, which, let me just end quotes right there. That's an idiotic statement. That's fluff, by the way. My conversation with Ben Simmons, Rich Paul, his agents, out in our conversations, I'm not going to get into specifics. Okay? Used car dealsman. But there's more conversations with Ben directly. Been more conversations. I can tell you for sure that those conversations have not progressed. As anyone knows who's dealing with a difficult situation like we are, and you don't make progress without first having a foundation of dialogue, and that's where we've gotten to, and we need to continue that, and hopefully those get somewhere. We shall see. Come on, man. Stop. Just stop. Please. You've got opportunities. Teams want Simmons with all this drama and baggage. And again, you can't sit there and say, well, these deals are in place, but you don't know if they're ever going to happen. The deals are possible. The Simmons and the Kings deal, right? When it comes down to De'Aaron Fox. Look, there's no deal, and there's no guarantee that these deals get done, but they're on the table. Like, see them through. And as I said, meanwhile, whether you have to give up Thibault, whether you have to give up Harris to package in with Simmons, meanwhile, you've got a player, you've got a center, an Embiid that scores 50 last night in 26 minutes, and once again shows you how dominating he can be. He can be as great as he wants to be. I remember Elijah Wine, young in his career, 86, upstart Rockets against the Celtics, and he was like a caged lion. In an NBA Finals game, he had back-to-back-to-back steals. He just took over the game. Now, they lost that series, but he just had this caged lion approach. I look at Embiid, and I just want to release him into the wild. This guy can be as dominating as can be. I mean, last night, what more do you want? 50 and 12, plus 24 on the floor. All right, get on my shoulders, get on my back, let me carry you. With a bunch of slop. Harris, thanks for showing up for once. Maxey, thanks for contributing. So the Philadelphia 76ers are going to win their 35, 40 games this year. Maybe 42, 43, whatever. Remember now, because it's not an 82-game season. And they're going to get bounced in the first round. Why? Because the GM refuses to put the right assets and surrounding parts and players around the big man. Why? Because they're at this standoff with Ben Simmons, which I believe internally is sucking the franchise dry. It's sucking the life out of this franchise. I believe it. I really do. You guys might not think it, but I believe it. And it's a bad look. It's a really bad look. And eventually you have to fish or cut bait. There's no in between. There's none. All right, so we'll continue with a little Sixers talk. NBA thoughts. Jonathan Marshall's going to join us on the other side. We'll get his thoughts on this. You guys are tweeting at me already at Rich Q on Q. Listen, eventually you got to make a decision. Am I going to continue to have this man put up 30-plus a game and then go into his late 20s, early 30s, and what do I have to show for? Nothing. Nothing. It's a bad look by this franchise right now, which, let's be honest, has been somewhat of a joke over the last 10 years, the way they've handled a lot of stuff internally. 16 past the 4 o'clock hour, just cranking up on a Thursday edition of Back Your Play. We'll take you up to 6. Jonathan Marshall on the NBA on the other side.